Definitely.
Xenoverse.
Definitely.
Definitely,
Well,
because
yeah.
Xenoverse is taking the Dragon Ball fans.
Like, the only reason there isn't a Raging Blast 3 is because the games didn't sell well. Xenoverse 1 and 2 are probably two most high-grossing Dragon Ball Z games there are.
Ever.
So, there's going to be a Xenoverse 3.
I think, but if you were to do a Xenoverse 3, there are many directions in which you can, tell your story and stuff, but I'm just curious as to what they're going to do to keep you playing, like having replay value, because like I said before, if you have a PC and you have Xenoverse on there, like there's so much replay value because even though you have mods, the mods make everything feel different. And for those who like really know how to mod their shit, they mod the entire map. Like for example, I saw the Future Trunks map modded into the game. You can change the music and everything, so it's pretty intense. Like one guy actually modded the entire Dragon Ball Super original soundtrack and put it into as replacement for the Xenoverse soundtrack. So that was really cool because as you're playing these cutscenes and stuff, it's the actual Super music in there. It's just and it makes everything feel so much more deadly, But if for Xenoverse 3, like, what do you guys want to see? Like, what would you want to see in there?
Just finish the storyline.
I really want to see with how the time patrollers and how Goku Black fiddles with time and how Trunks fiddles with time is just a huge thing with them.
Oh, Zamasu and Goku Black would be great for that story because they're the ones messing with time.
What if you have Mira and Toa? Well, not Toa. No,
Mira.
Toa's the girl.
Yeah.
Mira.
To be honest,
Mira's dead, but
see...
Toa teams up with Zamasu and Black. What about that?
I mean,
be on board with that?
I love.
You'd have to find a way for them to like.
Yeah. But
I want to see just Goku Black just prison shank Toa and just be like, I'm done.
But the best part about Zamasu's character is how he has the time ring and stuff. So for Xenoverse, it would be really cool to see Zamasu and his protege Goku Black team up with Toa to mess with time because they can go back in time, they can go forward. Like that'll mess so many things up. So, but I doubt they're gonna do that.
I would really like if they implemented a betrayal method.
I'd rather them directly attack time.
Yeah.
I do think though they're gonna completely finish the whole Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super
with Toa,
Z
right?
storyline. Well,
yeah,
with the other characters, all the forms of Boo are gonna be it. All the forms of Frieza, Cell's in perfect form too, semi-perfect form. I mean, everything's gonna be in it because from Xenoverse 1 to 2, they added a lot of stuff in Xenoverse 2 that wasn't in 1.
Yeah.
So they're gonna completely finish the story in 3.
So by finish the story, do you think they're gonna finish off with just Toa because she's been like the main person here in a way?
I mean, probably because at Xenoverse 1's ending, you had Toa collecting basically Mira's, I guess, heart or cell or whatever. Xenoverse 2, you had Mira completely die and there's nothing of him left. So it would make sense for her to be just Toa at the end of Xenoverse 3.
Yeah. But what do you do with her? What would you want done with her?
But didn't Toa get destroyed?
No.
You sure?
No. She basically just Kai'd away.
But didn't Mira absorb her?
Well, I guess they can use it as a
absorbed her, and he released her.
So well. I feel like if it didn't
Which
sell
I
well,
felt was so fucking dumb because he was like, I'm so sorry. After he realized that he was gonna die, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Toa. It's like, shut the hell up, dude. Oh my god, that took away from his character. Because the whole point of him absorbing her, he wanted power. He was like, yo, I don't care about you. And he absorbed the egg as well. And I was like, oh shit. And I can't deny the way he looked. He looked really cool. Like he looked really, really cool. But,
ugly.
And that's another thing that pissed me off. Yo, Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2. Demigra and Mira, right? For Xenoverse 1, they never gave us Demigra as a playable character. For Xenoverse 2, they never gave us Mira's final form. It's like, come on, man. You're going to drain us from our money and you're going to give us bullshit? Come on, man. Like, these companies, like, they listen, but they don't give a fuck. They're just like, oh, what do you want? Oh, is that what you want? We'll think about it.
You don't
come
know
on, man.
Baby.
That's what makes Xenoverse so boring once you beat it. It's like, come on. Like, if it were not for online, are you really going to play the game? Come on.
Hell no.
Honestly,
I do.
I'd go get a life again.
I like creating stuff. I like tweaking things. So I guess that's why I play Xenoverse 2 as much.
I completely respect and agree to some extent. But when it comes down to you making like 5 characters and shit, and you already did your best for them, it's like, what do you do?
The problem
I mean-
with that, you gotta replay the story, and the story isn't worth it.
It ain't even that. I just like creating stuff and tweaking things.
Of course.
I don't necessarily.
Well, like character builds, like
I don't even really do character builds. I just like creating and tweaking characters around and whatnot, tweaking their stories and whatnot, tweaking their moves to fit those stories and whatnot.
Yo, don't you
You
wish
can't.
Xenoverse had like that Fallout approach to where you can decide the fate of your own character story?
Yeah, that's what because like
Like
I wanted to see-
Skyrim shit, right?
that's what they
Like-
said in the trailer, but they never lived up to it.
Right. Because like they made it seem like you could actually save future Gohan, but they never actually attended to that.
Yeah,
they
that
never-
you actually do say future Gohan.
Then
Right,
nothing
and-
happened.
You
Yeah,
do
it's
though.
be like more like an Outlast vibe.
Like I'm not trying to say make the game like Skyrim because that would be a long ass fucking Dragon Ball game, and I think people would love it, but you know, like I always said to myself, I was like, how come they don't take the time to create the perfect Dragon Ball game? Like I know there isn't such thing as a perfect Dragon Ball game. Some people may argue and say, oh yes there is, it's Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and whatever, but you know, but the point is, it's like, as you said, Fusion, like maybe they don't want to give certain things or include certain things because they want to test it. But if there was ever a time for you to really go all out, I think this would be the great time because you have so many super arcs to include. You can include GT, Dragon Ball, Dragon
They're
Ball
going
Z.
to.
There's
You know,
infinite possibilities.
Yo, like Fusions is the perfect example because they just went all out. They were like, you know what? Here's the best version of what a Dragon Ball game could be if we just went all out. And they gave us a great story, so many fucking different characters, 5-man fusions, like all types of stuff. Even Dragon Ball Heroes like took a different approach, and they're giving us like alternate stories and timelines and stuff. And it's just like, wow, this
They
is
need to put
great.
that on PS4.
I wonder what Trunks in Xenoverse 1 when Bardock collapsed in his grade 8 form after fighting Broly. I wonder what Trunks did with him. Did he like kill him?
I don't think he would kill him.
What would he do with him? He said he would handle it. So what would he do with him?
Probably like I don't know. Like I'm assuming there's a captive place where you can keep someone captive, like a jail or something. I don't.
Just take him to Toki City?
Yeah, I guess, but that's the thing about Xenoverse. It's like it had a great story going, but then halfway along the way, they were just making shit up as they go. I think they were just like, okay, well, what do we do? Oh, let's just do this because it makes sense. Okay.
Xenoverse 1 had a way better story than Xenoverse 2.
Xenoverse
day.
1 had, I mean, yeah, the whole thing with Demigra and stuff, like, it was, I think it was really cool. Like, I just didn't like how it was Mira and Toa again, and it was the exact same formula. Oh, we're gonna rebuild Toa, we're gonna rebuild Mira to get his power back. Okay, and what after that?
What?
Made Xenoverse
What
great
if
again.
it's getting closer to Dragon Ball Online? Because think, first it was Demigra, then it was just Toa and Mira.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that mean it's moving closer to being towards being Dragon Ball Online in a way?
Well,
It is.
it is already Dragon Ball Online to a degree. Like the way they set everything up and the way they took from the game.
Yeah.
'cause I played
see what you're
online
Let's
a lot.
be honest, they're
I played
missing
online a
one
lot.
portion of that game.
You know it came back, right?
It came back. I remember I played it a few months ago, but I haven't played it now because I heard that the servers are like really derpy. So I'm like,
They're not dirt. I play it sometimes. They're not derpy. It's still basically in development. The main developer of it, who's going through everything and fixing everything, it's still a work in progress. So the servers do get wiped from time to time.
Yeah.
But the servers aren't that bad.
Okay. Because I remember when I was playing on it, the servers, like, they didn't have any rooms available, and then when you were on there, it would, like, some of the missions wouldn't even pop up, and I was like, damn. But, I mean, yeah, I just hope that Xenoverse 3, man, in my opinion, I just think that, I hope that they listen to the fans and to the YouTubers and stuff, because we're the ones putting our money into this, right? Why would you want a half-ass product, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
come on,
true.
man, like I said, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't care. Like, I'll speak my opinion. I'll say, listen, the game was good for what it was worth, but then after a while, there's no replay value other than going online and playing with people and interacting and teaming up and stuff. But other than that, it's just like, for example, another example. We had so many Dragon Ball Super things occur, right? In which we saw new clothing pieces and new stuff like that. How come we have to wait for DLC for us to get Champa's clothing pieces or anything like that? Like, why can't we, by default, every once in a while, have free updates of just clothing, right? Getting Whis' clothing, Black's clothing, Zamasu's clothing, different clothing sets, right? That way, even though it's the same shit, you would feel as if it's different. That's my point. It's like, give us, if you're not gonna give us any free shit, fine. Give us clothing. Like, is clothing really that much? Or even Potara earrings or something, you know? Like, give us something to make us feel as if, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And even with that, right, in Xenoverse 2, you can't have sunglasses on with the wig without having to change that with the power pole.
Yeah.
Like, what? So you're telling me I can't equip more than just one item? How stupid is that?
Bro, the ZLC is a trash. I'm sorry. Like
you know what I'm
the
saying?
second one,
Like,
They ain't that bad. I mean,
40 minutes of playing.
that's fine, I guess, but you know, they just the first DLC was bad compared to the second one, I think.
I think a lot of people's problems with them is that they want to do so much with them, make them these overcomplicated characters that have this, that, and the third on them, instead of just doing something simple. Like, Alex, not to take away from your work on Raikon.
Right.
I think he's a well-designed character, but I think you're doing too much with him. He has too many weird powers, like the eye thing and whatnot. And, again, not to take away your work from him, but I think you're trying to do too much with him. And that's something I sort of think about what, like, Sinister just said. You can only do so much with the characters in Xenoverse. Well, doing too much is sometimes a bad thing. Sometimes keeping things simple is a good thing.
Of course. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But what I'm trying to do with this character is I'm trying to simply establish
I understand
a good story and a good background so you can understand better. Because what I don't like about most, you know, Dragon Ball things is, like, they give us certain things, but they never truly go in depth with, like, certain stuff. Like, we can go in depth with Goku all we want because we know so much about him. We know so much about Vegeta and other characters. Yeah. But for the most part, for these newer guys, like, we don't know shit. And yeah, sure, we don't have to know everything about them, like where they come from and how strong they can get. But yo, give us something to, like, run with here instead of just saying, oh, here he is and this is what he can do. Bye.
Exactly.
Like, okay, well, what? Like, okay, so, and perfect example. From the Battle of Gods movie to the Battle of God, from the Battle of Gods movie to the Battle of Gods arc, they retconned a lot. They changed a lot of things. And now change isn't bad, but whatever happened to the whole Beerus using 70% of his strength from the movie, and then in the arc they completely changed that up and saying, well,
I'm glad they took that out though.
They did. That's the good part.
Yeah,
You know,
that was
yeah,
weird because when I watched the movie, I expected the same.
But the same thing could be said to me, ever since we're talking about Xenoverse 3, the same thing could be said about Mira and Toa. It's like, okay, in Heroes, we know where they're from. In Xenoverse, we do not, which is stupid because Toa is the daughter of Deborah. She's Deborah's sister, sorry.
Sister.
Yeah, that's his sister. And in Heroes, Deborah's, I don't know if you guys saw Deborah's, I think it's their grandfather or their father, one of those two. Like the Grand Demon or whatever. And he's messing
One moment, let me look it up.
Yeah, go look at some of the Victory Missions trailers, and you're gonna get to see him. He's like this old ass like demon, whatever, and they get their influence from that. But what I'm saying is, in Xenoverse, it's like they never explain to us how strong she is, and even if she's not strong, that's fine. Allow us to understand what her abilities are. Like, Trunks never explains like why she does it. He's just like, oh, she does it. Okay, but how does she do it? How does she mess up time? Like, is it because of the staff? If so, what does the staff do? It's like, explain to us, like, even if she doesn't have to be super duper strong, but explain to us like where she's from. Can we send her back to her time? Like, you know, stuff like that. Just simple stuff. Like, for us to get a better understanding as to who the fuck we're looking at here.
Who was it? His father?
I think so. Father or grandfather, one of the two.
Because nothing's coming up in the search for him.
No, like I said, go to YouTube and type in some of the Victory Mission trailers, because there is a scene where it's Deborah, her, and him. Let me see if I can find it actually. But yeah, it's definitely there. You just gotta. But Dragon Ball Heroes, bro, that shit, man.
They recently came out with a new
practically Dragon Ball Heroes basically predicts the future of Xenoverse.
Yo, it's fucking crazy, bro. Like,
go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that they recently came out with a new 3DS game called Dragon Ball Heroes Ultimate Mission X. And I'm just thinking, well, of course the arcade is gonna stay over there, but why can't we get the DS game for it? What would hurt giving the American audience a simple DS game? You don't even have to bring the entire arcade system stuff over here.
Exactly. They just make more cash. Cash flow.
It's a very weird and tricky situation. All right, so I'm gonna send you guys a if you guys go to the general chat, just click that video, and it's long, but this is everything from Dragon Ball Heroes. It's about an hour long. These are all the trailers. These are all the characters. And towards the end, you get to see the different variations of of Toa, and somewhere in there, if they haven't included by now, we get to see Toa's.
I think I found it.
Dad slash grandfather, whoever.
I got a real
Hold on.
question for you guys.
Hold on.
What do you think is gonna happen in Xenoverse 3? Do you think that Timebreaker Vegeta's gonna be in there? Like,
yo, I mean, listen, that'd be great. Oh my God, don't even get me started on Bardock. Yo, tell me, you guys can't disagree. Did they not shit on Bardock's character in Xenoverse 2?
I don't think they did. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay, how could you sit there and not see anything wrong with it when he didn't do anything? He literally
What do you mean?
He didn't do anything.
He didn't. Isn't that what? I don't see what you mean by that.
Okay, he was a background character that stood by Mira and Toa's side, right? The only time he ever took any action was when he fought you once, and then aside from that, when you broke his mask, whatever, he grabbed Mira and went down into that pit, and that was it. But the argument can be made that in Heroes, where he originally came from, yeah, he was spawned by Toa, whatever, but he did so much work for her that not only did he fight Gogeta and he fought everyone and he kept, you know, messing throughout time or whatever, but the point in which when they broke his mask is when he was originally with Mira, when Mira had his super form, and you get to see that in the Victory Mission trailer. So how come in Heroes he's helping her do all the work, he's fighting all the characters, even to the point where he fought the Kais and they broke his mask, and once they broke his mask he became a Super Saiyan 3.
I cannot get over that scene.
Like as soon as his mask broke, his spell, I guess, was broken. He turned towards Mira. Mira, I guess, buffed up, and you know they continued.
Mira, though, because they didn't do anything new with Mira. They just pooped on him and basically just gave him new powers, and that was about it. They ain't give him Super Mira. They just gave him Fused Mira.
I don't mind Fused Mira. He looked really cool, but
is that fucking Bulma? I'm watching the trailer, and for no reason, Bulma is helping fight the robot spawns from Toa or whatever.
But does anybody know why Fused Mirror looked like a Super Saiyan 4?
No, he did, but I don't know if
Because why
Xenoverse
not?
3. A better question is, where would you want its multiplayer to be at? Like, how would you change its multiplayer if you guys had to kind of call it down the middle and you know, include something in there that was different?
Beam struggles.
I would kind of make it work. Multi-lobby.
Environmental destruction.
Someone and it puts a
Beam struggles, environmental destruction.
Next, you get the
all
battle.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I just saw him. He only appeared for like a second though.
You saw him?
Yeah.
There you go.
What's his name? Grandfather, father, whatever.
Yeah,
What time was it at?
I can send you the manga.
It's like near the end, at like.
Yeah, I can send you the manga because I read the manga, and the manga includes a lot more. But the point is, it's like there's so much that happens here, dude. Like you don't even understand.
Skip to like 55:30.
No, yeah, I see it. I see Cell's giant fucking egg form. I see it all. But as I said before, man, it's like Dragon Ball Heroes is praised by everyone because everyone's like, yo, this shit includes everything, and you know, Xenoverse is like, eh. I don't know, let's see. I mean, we could have a new Xenoverse game, or we might not. We might get something entirely different, who knows?
Like Raging Blast.
This year.
It's all
Raging Blast 3 ain't happening.
Yo, that rumor is still going around. People are still trying to praise that,
what
actually.
What they should do is bring back Tenkaichi or bring back some type of physics from that character.
Time to get the clickbait out.
I want something.
Raging Blast reconfirmed.